Hello, hello, and welcome to the Healing Siren Oracle. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. My name is Renee, and today we are doing another love and relationship reading. So, a lot of y'all are asking Spirit, asking God, and praying about if you've already met your person and that's just the one that got away, or if you will ever meet your person, or if you're at a point in your life where you just done and you'll be alone. You don't think you'll find happiness anymore. You're wondering if, that's it. Should you be celibate? Is a new love ever coming? Or if you will ever feel whole again? I don't know. So let's get into the reading and see what comes out. So, yeah. And for a lot of y'all, Justice in reverse is saying that the situation that you're dealing with right now, or the situation that just ended, that ended for a reason. The reason what you feel like justice being served in that situation didn't happen was because that wasn't the right situation for you. For some of y'all, the situation itself made you miserable, and that's why it didn't continue. And for some of you, you're going all Dora the Explorer, looking out, got your little staff going on, and you're just like, okay, well, that didn't work. Let me go on to the next one. But you're missing something. You're missing the process of logical thinking with this Knight of Swords in reverse. So you're basically trying to get into something new without working on you. And honestly, I know how that feels. I know how it feels to have a relationship that you thought was going to last forever just crumble, and you find yourself going, well, what the hell? What's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen now? And the answer to that, new love will find you, but you don't need to be looking for it just yet with this Fool in reverse. What you need to be doing is going into hermit mode, because hermit is what you need to find your own personal completion with that Empress. So this is one of those, work on you, do you, think about you. And everybody has a different way to get there. For some of y'all, that means completely pulling out of the dating scene. And for some of you, that means going to the places where you would find the person that you're looking for. So men, if you want a feminine woman and somebody that's all beautified, instead of going to get your hair cut at the barbershop, some of y'all might want to try visiting the beauty salon to get your hair cut. Ladies, you want a masculine man. I don't know why I'm hearing this shit, but you want a masculine man. You might want to take up some self-defense and boxing lessons in order to find a person for you. You'll be guided by Spirit with this Page of Pentacles. Because for a lot of y'all, you're coming out of a Ten of Swords. You're coming out of feeling betrayed, feeling used, feeling broken, having your heart hurt. And you did so in the coldest way possible with this King of Swords. And for some of y'all, you need to be cold. Ace of Cups, Fool in reverse, King of Swords. That combination of cards says love will find you, but you need to learn to love yourself first. Like, you're not going to find love if you constantly waking up, looking in the mirror going, ugh, I need to lose 10 pounds. I need to get a better job, go back to school, or I'm going to be by myself forever. If you look in the mirror every damn day and you tell yourself you're going to be by yourself forever, guess what you're speaking into existence? You're speaking that shit into existence. You're going to be by yourself for the rest of your life. Damn Skippy, because you started it. Spirit going to be like, oh yeah, that's what you want. Loneliness. Forever. And I like this King of Swords, because even though my dude is just sitting there by himself chilling, you see the butterflies? Butterflies are beauty and strength. I think it's the monarch butterfly, where their migration actually takes 3 generations. Like, the set that goes out is not the same set that comes back. Like, the set that goes out, they reproduce somewhere in the middle, they die. Their descendants pick up, keep it going. They die. Their descendants are the ones that come back. And to be honest, if this was yellow, I would say that was a monarch butterfly. But I can't tell, they're gray. But for some of y'all, it's saying that the hurt that you're facing now, and I believe the reason is the whole monarch butterfly story that came out. The hurt that you're facing now is not yours alone. Like, you need to look in your generation. Like, you need to look in yourself, see where certain patterns are. Like, maybe your mom and dad stayed married for forever, but were they happy in their marriage? Were they the type that, like, tried to hide arguments from the kids? Like, oh yeah, we're gonna stay together for the kids, no matter if we hate each other, no matter if we, like, sleep in separate rooms, we're going to do this for the kids. Or, like, you knew daddy had, like, a drinking problem, an extra woman, an extra family. For some of y'all way back when, like, daddy had a whole nother family. If your folks were hiding conflict, then you came out of that with one of two mannerisms. You either came out with that toxic positivity of, we can never fight, we can never disagree, we can never have any issues with each other. I will forgive absolutely everything that you do because I saw how bad my parents were. Or you came out with that super independent, I don't need anybody, I will celebrate by my damn self. If I'm with you, I'm with you. And if I'm not, I'm good by myself. Like, a lot of y'all, the ones of us that came from single families or single mothers, and no, like, don't get me wrong, I ain't blaming my mama for nothing. My mama is one of the strongest people I know, right? If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know how to stand in my masculine energy when I needed to. And it was 9/11 on the clock when that came out. Like, if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't understand. Like, yeah, you can be feminine, you can be soft, you can be the easiest going person in the world, you can cook for your man, you can clean for your man, you can do all the things that you require. But if you start taking his bullshit, and this is one of those cards where you ignore red flags, you ignore narcissistic behavior, you ignore those things because you just want to stay together. And for some of us, we needed to learn when to stand in our masculine, when to stand in our feminine. And for a lot of my men that's watching this, y'all need a space where it's safe for you to be feminine, for you to cry, for you to be vulnerable. For my ladies, y'all also need a space where you have a man at your side that knows when to go, okay, well, baby, I know you got this. I believe in you. I'm behind you. Whatever you want to do, I got it. Both of y'all need that level of support, and you haven't had it so far. That's why none of the relationships you've been in have worked so far. Turn to spirit and turn to your community. For some of y'all, you need to look deep within, and for some other ones, counseling is your best friend. And I know in our community, sometimes we go, no, counseling is a bad thing. Like, you don't want to tell nobody all your business. Okay, well, if you don't want to tell nobody all of your business, then how will you end up finding love? How will you end up seeing that other person is just there for your body? That other person is in devil mode. That other person got some other stuff going on that they may not be showing you right off. Because honestly, I've been that person with those rose-tinted glasses on. I've been that person that ignores the red flags or whatever. And I have been this whole ass Queen of Cups in the worst situation possible, where you don't need to be the Queen of Cups. And that's why she's in reverse. And when you're in situations like that, you think you're right. It's going to be a lot of work, because a lot of us, myself included, still need to do some inner child work. We still need to work on our inner child before we go out and look for anybody or anything to actually fulfill our needs. And this is the death card in reverse. This cycle will not end, and no new cycle will begin until you figure out what needs to die. And honestly, you can't be like, oh, I'm 100% put together, but I want my ex back. Why is your ex your ex? Like, honestly, why is your ex your ex? What levels of loss did you feel with this 10 of Pentacles in reverse when you were in that? For some of y'all, you're like, oh, that's the one that got away. When they got away from you, what did they end up going to? Are they happy, or are they in a situation where they trying to sneak off from their significant other? And honestly, if you were in the significant other's place in a situation like that, would you really want to deal with that person knowing that they sneaking away from them to come to you? Knowing that in order to keep that up, somebody got to be lied to in that situation. It's either you or the wife or the husband or both of y'all. Somebody has to be lied to. Ain't no way in hell you gonna tell me that this person is just, oh yeah, I'm unhappily married. We are in the process of getting a divorce, but I go home to a home cooked meal every night. No, the hell you, nah. No. I'm unhappily married. I want to get out of this so bad, but when I get sick, they nurse me back to health. Or when I get sick, like, we calling on our kids together to look after us. And here go this Knight of Cups again. You'll find it after you do your work on you. And before you say, I don't need no work, I'm good, everything's straight. Okay. You can operate from a low vibration without realizing you're operating from a low vibration. Some of y'all can be toxic as hell without realizing exactly how toxic you are. And trust me, I was there. I was there. Thinking like everything's good, everything's fine, nothing's like bad here. And like, nah, it was some stuff I needed to work on. It was some stuff I refused to work on with that Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It happens. There were some things that I definitely should have asked for help with this Three of Pentacles. And honestly, the people around me couldn't help. Like, I was married and a lot of the people in my family had never been married before. So I couldn't go to them and be like, okay, well, how do I keep a marriage together? Because they couldn't tell me. They knew how to keep long-term like thingies going, but they didn't know how to keep marriages going because it was very few of them. And the sweetest love story I ever like came across in my family, and it still had some other stuff in history happening, was my great aunt and my great uncle ended up dying in a house fire together. He had the opportunity to leave the house, but he went back in because he was like, nah, this has been my wife for 40, 50 years. I'm not finna try to like live beyond now without her. Like if she leaving, I'm leaving too. Fuck y'all. Like because regardless of what happened when they were younger, when they got older, they realized it's me and you, it's you and me, and like whatever happened, we together. We been together, we gonna ride together, we literally gonna die together. Because they were guided by spirit to be together. And for some of y'all, finding that balance, that Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles came out over the this other Knight of Cups. For y'all, finding that balance with that Six of Pentacles is one of those things where you have to have inner balance first. Like I always say, you can't be in a whole relationship if you're only a part of yourself. And for some of y'all, like for the ladies, if you want a really masculine man, you may need to end up taking a self-defense class. For my guys, if you want a really feminine woman, you might need to start going to the barbershop to get your hair cut. Or not the barbershop. Instead of going to the barbershop, because I have had the experience of taking my sons to the barbershop and all the men there are like the cartoon characters with their tongues hanging out. Instead of going to the barbershop where it's a masculine energy, where it's men being men there, go get your hair cut at the beauty salon. Go get a pedicure. Go get a manicure. No, you don't need to do the fake nails. These ain't fake. These are mine. You don't need to do the fake nails. You don't need to do color. But women would appreciate you having clean nails and taking care of yourself. For my ladies, the men will appreciate you wanting to be able to defend yourself. They might look at you and be like, oh, look, she's so cute, looking like she learned how to fight. They might want to spar with you. And here go this Hermit again. Once again, reminding you to work on yourself. I also got the Three of Cups. Like, a lot of y'all need to learn how to celebrate yourself first. Once you learn how to celebrate yourself, once you learn how to laugh at your own stupidity, and before you say it, we are all stupid in our own personal ways, then your Ten of Pentacles will turn upright. Then, and the funniest thing in the world, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight or the Page of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles upright. What you're looking for will come once you find balance within yourself. For some of us, is meditating. For some of us, it's counseling. For some of us, it's journaling. Either way you put it, it's inner child work. Like, you know how they say hurt people hurt people? You need to figure out where your hurt originally came from with this 9 of Cups in reverse. For some of us, it was something that happened to you in your childhood. For some of y'all, and yes, I said it like that, for some of y'all, it's a generational thing. Like you dealing with pain that your great grandma used to deal with. Like your great grandma could have had that situation where great granddaddy was a real rolling stone. He had like 10 different families. Then grandma ended up being with somebody at all costs and toxic positivity and trying to be at her man's side and working with him. And he had 3-4 families. And grandma had 2 or 3 families. Like granddaddy had 2 or 3 families. And then your mama had 2 or 3 like baby daddies or whatever. It could have been something that went all the way through the generations. And no, you can't go back in time. No, you can't undo the mistakes that people made in the past. What you can do is learn, like, those are mistakes and things that they dealt with. But for me and mine and my situation, that's not something that I'm willing to go through. I'm not willing to deal with a man that, honestly, I ask him a question and he straight up lies. I'm not dealing with a woman where I'm asking her if she could please stay in the house and she want to be a 304. Like, you want to chase him? Go ahead. I'm not dealing with a woman that thinks that she needs a BBL and is not happy with her natural beauty. I'm not dealing with a man that wants me to be a stay-at-home wife, but at the same time, I'm begging him for money so I can get my hair done and shit. Like, why would you do that? Why would you find yourself, like, why would you put yourself in a position that you've seen happen multiple times? And it was 22 on the clock when I said that. Stop looking for sex. Like, stop looking for relationships based off sex. Stop looking for relationships based off 1 or 2 conversations. Your 10 of Cups will come once y'all get really deep with each other. Once you understand, like, and this is the Chariot. Once you understand that you know what you'll deal with, you know what's not acceptable. You're willing to walk away from what's completely unacceptable, and you understand that all the stuff from your past that you have gotten away from, you got away from it for a reason. So once you stop overthinking it with this 9 of Swords in reverse, once you get that shit out of your head, like, a lot of y'all are living every day, and there's certain people in your head that are just living there rent-free. And that's keeping you out of High Priestess mode. So you being in your head about a past situation is keeping you from that spiritual connection. And this is spiritual whether you actually believe in any kind of religion or whether you believe your chakras need to be aligned. Because for some of y'all, that's what it means. It means that your chakras are not in a line. You are completely off balance, and you're completely off balance because you're wondering, like, was Bobby the one? Did Bobby have a wife? Because if Bobby had a wife, he wasn't the one. Was Marissa the one? Because if Marissa was running around like with 3 baby daddies, don't want to sit her behind down, don't know how to actually be in a wife's position, then she wasn't the one. And I'm sorry if anybody's name is actually Bobby or Marissa. Those are just examples. I'm not talking about you directly. But yeah, You can't move on if you're still in the past about what happened. And then a lot of y'all need to find that self-balance, that inner balance, that piece of you that, one, you need to know what you're going to fight for. You need to know whether argument over trust is as important to you as an argument over who gonna wash the dishes that night. Because for some of y'all, if they wash the dishes, then you forget about the argument about trust. Like, why? Which one is more important? Do I want clean dishes, or do I want to be able to trust that you ain't sticking your thing in everything? Do I want clean dishes, or do I want to know that you're not sending coochie pics to every dude around the block? And once again, a lot of y'all are not listening to spirit. Like, remember what I said. If you have to be pulled out of a situation, that shit is going to hurt because you don't want to go, but spirit is trying to tell you, my child, that's not where you need to be. And the reason you don't need to be there is because I've had hermit mode come out twice. The reason you don't need to be there is because I need you to be with you for a while. Switching decks again. Listen to your intuition. And for some of y'all, your person is already there. Like, you know them already. But the reason they're not being revealed to you in a way that lets you know they're your person is because you're not ready. And spirit is not going to let you hurt. Spirit's not going to let you hurt somebody that they sent you. If that makes sense. Like, God is not going to let you hurt one of his angels. So until you're ready, your person will be like your best friend off in the corner. That one delivery guy that comes and waves at you every now and then. And autumn in reverse, like I said, could have been a past autumn where you already met this person. But they're not going to reveal themselves on that level until you're ready. Until you do your own work. And for some of y'all, like I said, for the men, go to the beauty shop. It may be a meaningful coincidence. For the women, go take a self-defense class. Put yourself in a place that you haven't been before. A safe place that you haven't been before. Don't go do nothing stupid. For the ladies, go to the gun range. For the men, go to the nail shop. For the ladies, do something that you feel would otherwise be considered a masculine activity, but do it in your own feminine way. Let go of your fear and anxiety. For the men, do something that you would consider a feminine activity, but do it in your own masculine way. Do not be in the nail shop and think that that's a cue for you to like hit on every woman there. Because what you're going to end up doing if you do that is chase off every woman there. Like, they will look at you and be like, nah, dude, you in our space. Like, we don't want you in this space hitting on us. But if you go into a space that's not meant for you, and you're behaving in your own power, you have your spiritual protection up, and this is all sideways and stuff. You have your spiritual protection up. You've asked for if your husband, wife, girlfriend, or boyfriend to be revealed to you, and you trust that, yeah, I'm gonna meet him sooner or later. Or not even that. Just, I'm happy with who I am right now. You've done your inner child work. You've protected that little baby that's inside of you because a lot of us, that child is buried for a lot of us. Or mine was. Like, I'm 36 years old. I had to learn all about me all over again. I lost myself. And what ended up happening was I found somebody that had hidden emotions for me that had been kept away from me for a very long time because I wasn't ready for him. Like, had I met the same person before I learned my karmic lessons, I would have ended up with the biggest heartache ever had I tried to deal with this person before I was ready. Like, he would have broke me. I would have broke him. He would have broke me. And he been keeping that secret for a very long time. I know he has. But the thing is, like, you will, for some of y'all, you have met your match. You've literally met your match. But Spirit is keeping that person from being able to just present themselves to you because you ain't ready. And then when you meet them, it's going to be like, oh. It was supposed to be you the whole time, huh? Because they will say some shit that will have you thinking like, hold on. Huh? Like, what did you just say? Like, where did your soulmate? What did you just say? Like, where the hell did you come from talking the way you're talking, behaving the way you're behaving, and basically being right? They were there the whole time. You wasn't ready for them. For some of y'all, you will not heed this warning. You will never be ready for them. And I'm going to be real with you. For others of you, you'll eventually be ready for them. Your guardian will actually go ahead and pull that last little slip from over your person's head when it's time. And honestly, if it's somebody that you've run into before and y'all had a connection before, but it wasn't, I don't know, for a lot of you, you've never had sex with your person. For a lot of you, your person, the reason y'all didn't end up together, like you had a friendship, they have done so much shit between then and now. Or you have done so much shit between then and now. Understand that everybody has a past. And when they tell you about their past, it's going to be one of those things that you go, ooh, it's a good thing I didn't know you did. It's a really good thing I didn't know you. I probably would have shot you or run from you. And like I said, some of y'all, for some of you, your person is not in this country, not in your country. Like, you won't meet them until you travel. And for some of y'all, you can either travel like virtually through like online, the sexuality thing. Some of y'all are going through a phase where you're not 100% sure. No, I'm not going to say it like that. With the sexuality thing, it says someone is still figuring themselves out. And we're going to stretch that beyond just sexuality. I'm saying you still need to figure yourself out. And in some situations, like your person is coming from the hoish ho field. And they need to come out of the ho field and stop trying to be Santa Claus. And understand, like, if you want somebody to be faithful to you, you need to understand how to be faithful. If you want somebody to be loyal to you, you need to understand how to be loyal. If you want somebody to commit to you, to be submissive to you, you need to learn how to be in that other position. You need to learn how to commit to them. You need to learn, and for men, is not being dominant or submissive. It's understanding how to be a leader, knowing when your significant other can step up and when she needs a break. Do not look at this woman going to work and raising her children, because it's very rare to find somebody that's above a certain age that don't already have kids. So you cannot look at a woman that's raising her children by herself and be like, oh, she's acting in her masculine energy. Of course she is. The fuck you want her to do? Of course she's acting in her masculine energy. She's a single mother. Like, what are you going to do to get her to transition over to her feminine energy? Are you going to step in, or are you going to be one of those men that's like, nah, that's somebody else's kid, I don't want to deal with that? Because if you are, then you don't need to be dating. And not just not dating single moms, but you don't need to be dating at all. Like, because for a lot of y'all, you got baby mamas. And honestly, if you got baby mamas, you can't be like, oh, I don't want to date a single mom. Why not? You created some of them. For some of y'all, you still running around with your old bad habits, your old problems, and you don't want to let go of it. And if you don't want to let go of it, then you don't need to be dating. If you want a sober person, but you still trying to get high every night, you don't need to be dating. If you want a Christian man or a woman, but you don't know how to take your behind to church, you don't need to be dating. If you want a man or woman of God, but you do not believe in anything, you don't need to be dating. Let me see. If you're a man that believes a woman should be cooking, cleaning, being home, raising the kids, doing all the laundry, doing feminine things, but she also needs to be going to work, you don't need to be dating. If you don't think that having a family means, oh yeah, if I'm working, you changing diapers with me. If I'm working, you cleaning up the house with me. If I'm cleaning up the house and doing laundry and doing dishes and cooking food, you need to be doing some of those tasks as well. You don't get to come home from work, and I've come home from work, and then you sit up and play video games for the rest of the evening while I take care of the household chores and duties. No. Because if I'm working, we're splitting household duties. And if you don't understand that, you don't need to be dating. If, as a woman, you feel like you can talk to your man any kind of way, you feel like, oh, well, he's here with me, so if I feel frustrated, I can curse him out because he's not going to leave, you don't need to be dating either, because you need to watch your mouth in certain situations. And yes, I said it. I said what I said. I want one more of these, and then we're pulling the animal oracle card. So one more of these. And I came across this video earlier. This lady lied and went out with her friends. She told a dude that she was going to see her grandma or something. he caught her out with her friends. And this woman's response to this man was, you don't make enough money to come at me any kind of way. She don't need to be dating either. If that's your mindset of you have to have a certain amount of money to date me, you don't need to be dating. Because if you're looking at material things instead of a person's energy and character, you don't need to be dating. Distance in reverse. Like, for a lot of you, once you get to the point of understanding where your work needs to be done, how your work needs to be done, what your inner child needs from you, what past traumas do you need to work on, is counseling something that will work for you? Because for some of y'all, counseling is a good idea. Talking to somebody outside of your sphere is a good idea. Talking to a person that's been in a healthy marriage, and that's the key word. You can't be with you can't talk to somebody that's been divorced 5 times and they still making the same mistakes in marriage number 6. They need to be in a healthy marriage. Be generous of spirit. Basically, how rich people think is they surround themselves by people who have the mindset that they want. It's not necessarily, oh, you're on my level right now. If you're looking for someone who matches your energy, not just mirror, but match your energy. Mirroring is different. Mirroring is, I don't know, have y'all ever seen like the old cartoons where they have the mirror world and everything looks the same, but it's always backwards? You don't want somebody being a mirror to you because they won't get it right. They will always be like a twisted version of what they think you are. You want someone that matches you, because basically on a scale, a pound of feathers and a pound of rice is still a pound. Still equal. Pound of fat, pound of muscle, still a pound. It's still equal. You don't have to be the exact same thing in order to match up. And for a lot of you guys, once you understand, like, yes, opposites attract, but you can't be complete opposites. Y'all gotta have something in common. Once you work on you, once you fix your inner child, once you fix your own like karmic shit, because the devil is in reverse. And for a lot of y'all, with the devil being in reverse, you'll understand, like, on a whole different level, yeah, you could have been low vibrational. You could have been that karmic energy. You could have been that super clingy one. You could have been the one that was drinking too much. You could have been the one with all the addictions. And as long as that didn't get fixed, then this is going to go right back to being this. And I hope that's something y'all understand. If you do, this resonates, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you would like a personal reading, that is the HealingSirenOracle at yahoo.com. And as always, y'all be blessed.